The newest information here on this flight that went down in the Sinai is showing that they are ruling out a technical fault or pilot error. These are two key things to pay attention to in this event. I want to remind everybody that Russia and the United States both still trying to downplay that IS shot this down. And right here it says breaking news, no evidence yet of terrorist involvement in this crash. That's what they're stating. And they want to keep downplaying the IS involvement. As I just said, they have ruled out any technical problems or that this was done by the pilots. They've also discovered the black boxes, and they say that that information shall be released here in the next couple days. Give us a better beat on what's going on here. But of course, it's only what they want to so choose to tell us all. That's what we're going to get, whatever they tell us. It doesn't mean it's the truth. We've been down this road before, and I think it's very suspect that they were raiding the offices of this business that owns this flight immediately before they were even gathering all the bodies. They were raiding the offices. It was one of the first things I read when this went down. That was highly suspect. As I said before, at 30,000 feet, where they lost track of this thing, one of those man pads or shoulder-mounted missiles that they're launching is not going to hit that plane at that height. They would have had to have launched literally thousands to try to get lucky enough to hit that thing. Advanced technology, some of the better military-grade weapons from the ground could have taken it out. Or it could have been taken out from the sky up above. What is also very interesting is as this all went down, Vladimir Putin's Russian doomsday plane took off from Moscow and started doing circles between St. Petersburg and Moscow. So they knew something was going on very suspect with this, guys. This wasn't just an accidental crash that went down. The doomsday plane does not take off like that for no reason. They have more information than what they're telling you. They're telling all of us at this point. But they are admitting that this flight broke in two at 30,000 feet and that it scattered the remains of the plane and all these people for miles. That's game-changing, and that is also the opposite of what they initially said, to where they said they got to the crash scene and it was fairly all right there with the tail coming down and fire in one place and the wing burnt up in another and the main part of the fuselage hitting the rocks. Now we come to find out that these parts are scattered for miles and that they actually recovered the body of a young girl some 5 miles away from the scene. You got to give a rest in peace out there to all the souls lost in any of these events. And I know there's trickery down every avenue. It reminds me a lot of MH17, a lot of questions to be answered. But as it sits right now, this thing was ripped apart in the air. They're saying there was no emergency calls made out. There was no signs of anything, that anything was going wrong. It was in perfect shape, the plane was. And something very well could have happened aboard this flight. It may not have been shot down out of the sky because it's looking like it would have had to have been upgraded military equipment or an aircraft in the sky that did this, unless it was just something that exploded on the aircraft. Now that means if something exploded on the aircraft, first things first, everyone thinks terrorist and all that stuff. And of course, if a plane goes down in an area where IS is, they're going to claim that they shot it down. And I'm not going to rule out that they did not, because I know who IS is. And you should too at this point. They're not just dudes running out of the mountains like Osama bin Laden. They are trained, paid, and you should know every bit of this by now, who they are. And I'll leave you guys with this bit of information. This is coming from the BBC, saying that an external influence caused this crash. They're not saying what at this point, but they're saying an external influence. That red dot is where the main site was, and all these other little dots here and all the way down here are debris, showing that this thing broke up way up there in the sky. So I'll leave links as I get more info. I'll keep you guys posted. It's been Dabu7. Peace.